Revenge is uncomfortable to defend. We associate it with anger, vendetta, and primitive instincts. Yet throughout history, the ability to remember an injury and eventually settle the account has been an important attribute of leadership. The problem is not revenge itself. The problem is revenge without justice, proportion, or an end state. An individual who cannot answer betrayal eventually invites more of it. A ruler faces the same problem on a larger scale. If enemies discover that injuries are quickly forgotten and betrayals carry no cost, restraint disappears. Perhaps the most famous Indian tradition of political revenge surrounds Chanakya and the Nanda dynasty. According to later literary traditions, Chanakya was insulted at the Nanda court and vowed not merely to answer the humiliation but to destroy the dynasty. He subsequently became the strategist behind Chandragupta Maurya's rise. Whether every detail of the legend is historically recoverable matters less than why the story survived for centuries. Indian political culture preserved Chanakya as the archetype of memory converted into strategy. He did not answer insult with another insult. He accumulated capability, built alliances, waited, and altered the balance of power. Punjab offers darker examples. In 1206, Muhammad Ghori was assassinated while returning through the Punjab. Medieval accounts differ over precisely who killed him, with Khokar involvement prominent in some traditions. What matters for our argument is the cycle itself. Ghori had brutally suppressed Khokar resistance shortly before his death. Violence produced retaliation, retaliation produced further violence. This demonstrates the first danger of revenge. Unless someone closes the account, every settlement becomes the beginning of another grievance. Sikh history provides an even clearer case. Guru Gobind Singh's two younger sons, Zorawar Singh and Fateh Singh, were executed at Sirhind in 1705 under Wazir Khan's authority. The event did not disappear with time. It became part of Sikh collective memory. 5 years later, Banda Singh Bahadur's forces confronted Wazir Khan at Chappar Cheri. Wazir Khan was killed, Sirhind fell, and the political order associated with the execution of the Sahibzadas was destroyed. That was revenge in its most recognizable political form. An injury remembered, power accumulated, and the account reopened when circumstances changed. But this is precisely where justice must enter. If punishment remains focused on those responsible, it cannot reinforce accountability. When it expands indiscriminately to populations, descendants of communities, revenge separates itself from justice and becomes collective vengeance. The distinction is fundamental. Revenge asks, how do I answer what was done to me? Justice asks, who actually owes the debt? Ihsan asks, having acquired the power to collect it, how much should I choose to collect? And that last question separates a statesman from an avenger. Punjab eventually produced such a figure in Maharaja Ranjit Singh. The Sikh political world he inherited carried generations of memories. Mughal persecution, Afghan invasions, destroyed cities, and massacres. Ranjit Singh certainly fought the Afghans and steadily pushed their power out of Punjab. In 1818, Sikh forces captured Multan, in 1819 Kashmir, and the frontier increasingly moved westward. He possessed ample historical grievance with which to justify permanent revenge, but he chose to build a state. Muslims were not treated simply as inheritors of Mughal or Afghan guilt. Muslim soldiers, administrators, and diplomats served his government. Fakir Azizuddin became one of his most trusted diplomatic figures. This is where revenge must ultimately arrive if it is to serve statecraft, at an ending. A leader must remember enough to deter betrayal. He must possess enough power to settle a score. Justice must determine who deserves punishment and how far it should go. And once the objective has been achieved, ihsan must become possible. Because ihsan is not weakness. If you cannot punish, your forgiveness costs you nothing. But when retaliation is available and you deliberately choose restraint, forgiveness itself becomes an exercise of power. The sequence of serious leadership is therefore simple. Remember the injury, build the capability, establish responsibility, impose consequence, know when the account is settled, then decide whether generosity can purchase something revenge cannot. A leader who cannot take revenge may invite contempt. A leader who cannot stop taking revenge will eventually destroy himself. The statesman must be capable of both. The right to remember protects his authority. The wisdom to forgive protects his future.